Let's use this analogy of like everybody played basketball and you play with like a younger kid or something like that and you gave him a handicap of like 8 points and y'all were playing the 10. So women are the little kids that you get a handicap to, and then once they beat you, they start bragging about how they won, but they had a hand. What up, dude? YouTube. Shout out to the Peanut Gallery. This your boy Peanut, the People's Nut, man. Back with another one. You already know what it is. I'm not a life coach. I'm not a dating coach. I'm not a guru. I'm just a practitioner of life giving helpful advice. I don't know shit. So if you listen, it's on you. Long time ago, I vowed to be a lifelong student. So I'm always willing to learn. I'm always willing to grow. I'm always willing to be presented new ideas, new ways of thinking. But I'm still on my journey for 1,000 subscribers, man. So go ahead and hit your brother with that HBO special. Shout out to the Poor Man Podcast again. Love that catchphrase because, you know, when you want to come up, you definitely got to keep saying it. But without further ado, let's jump into the topic, man. You saw the thumbnail. You saw the title. It's a couple things I really want to address in this video, man. This tweet right here, this is crazy. Like I keep saying, this is fascinating. When you had women like Shahrzad Ali back in '89 and different things saying the same things that Kevin Samuels or Kwame Brown are saying. So it's like it's crazy and it's fascinating that you have so many people acting like this is new information. And even my own relatives, like my sister put him on to Kevin Samuels and now he's acting like this information is new. So I guess everybody's journey with dealing with this type of stuff is different, but the information or the idea of any of this stuff is new. It's crazy. It's not new. It's been around. So now the first thing I wanted to address is us as black men not hating on black men that's getting this message out there to the women. I was like, do you care about people receiving a message, or do you care about the popularity that these men have gained from delivering this truth to women? Because again, day in and day out, you keep seeing how delusional and how, I won't say delusional, but it's like how they rationalize how they think. And you would think so many women on a collegiate level will have better outcomes, because that's what everybody keeps talking about. That's what men mostly focus on, is outcomes. Are your outcomes aligned with what, you know, with how you're thinking? So the fact that so many women still have these hood rat outcomes, these baby mama outcomes, is showing that even on the collegiate level, that they don't even understand or grasp human nature or male nature or even their own nature, which is hypergamy. When they decide to accumulate all of these things, they can't, they don't possess the ability to date down. And when they can't date down, when I say date down, they can't respect the man that doesn't provide for them, which is crazy, because if you scream it independent, you should be able to independently care for yourself and still love a man the way a man should be loved. Also, you would think if they really are these forward thinkers or these you know, civilization builders and all this other stuff, they will be able to build with a man that's making 40,000, 50,000 and still come home and treat him as a king, versus only looking at him as a provider, and that's the only way he can gain respect.
The black man provides more in a black home than just financial support. He provides direction, guidance, gratification, fulfillment, and discipline for our children.
I think the disconnect between men and women is that women don't understand how men think. Like, you have these women on this side champion themselves, saying that we're independent. We done did all of this stuff. We're more educated. We're more doing the entrepreneur thing. We're doing all of this stuff, but they're not looking at the huge advantage that they had. Let's look at this analogy. It's like if you're playing basketball with a younger kid and you gave him a handicap of 8 points and y'all playing in 10. And that kid beat you because he only had to shoot 2 shots. So that's like how women are right now. Like they're bragging about having a substantial amount of handouts and being propped up to feel like queens and all of this other stuff through no merit of their own. They didn't have to really do anything. And I'm not taking anything away from the business women or the lawyers or the entrepreneur women and all this other stuff. But understand that you do have a huge advantage over men, especially nowadays. Most women market their businesses through sex. Like I guarantee you, if you looked at the analytics, a lot of it is men or women that wish they can be you because of the men that they perceive you to have. And the other disconnect between men and women nowadays is women want traditional men, but they want to still move as a modern woman and not be a traditional woman. So they want a traditional provider male, but they still want to be a modern woman, which is, it's like you're holding conflicting thoughts, or you're holding conflicting outcomes. Like it's never going to work. And you would think all of these women that are on the collegiate level that have or think that they are forward thinkers, they will be able to be willing to submit to a man that's make significantly less than him and still treat him like a king. And they could have that utopia that they want, that love. Since you already are independent, you really want a man to be able to love you and care for you. That man in that situation would be more inclined to do that for you. But women don't really logically think. It's all about feelings and how I feel. So it's very hard for a lot of men to take women serious it's very hard in today's dating market for men to take any woman serious, because many of them have a selfish outlook. Many of them constantly move the goalposts. Many of them use religion like trail mix. They take out and pick and choose which part of the Bible that they want to listen to, and then they throw away the rest. So it's like, it's hard to take women serious when you don't even understand your own chaotic nature. And that's what men are there for. They're supposed to be there to be your rock in your crazy river of emotions. So they always say they don't need a man until they really need a man. Or they're using other men that orbit around them to do things for them. So it's like they don't need a man until they need a man. And they really do need us. Like, they need us for just the main thing that they feel like, the main thing that they need men for, they lack. They don't want that. So they want just this provider male. When a male provides more than just finances for a woman, he provides you emotional stability, especially because women are all over the place. But once she has a man, you can't tell her nothing. You can't tell her nothing. I told my sister she look fat. She gonna what she say. My man like it. So men add that emotional emotional stability for women. So for women to only want men to provide financially, is they financially or sexual. It's like they reduce you down to those two things when it's a vast amount of different things that a man provides and brings to the table for a woman, because women really believe they're not difficult. It's difficult to deal with you guys because a lot of y'all are governed by your emotions. You're governed by your period. You're governed by so much in life. You are communal creatures. So we all are, but you need them more. You're the more communal of the two species in the men. So you need the acceptance of the outside group. So a lot of women can't be with a man that makes $40,000 because of her fear of what her friends or family or somebody else tell her that she deserves or wants. Women keep each other single. It is women that keep other women single, because women are trying to tell other women how men think and what we think about and what we value. And it's crazy that so many women are falling victim to this, man. And again, shout out to the brother over at Mediocre Tutorial and Reviews for having Sister Cesar Ali on. That was a great segment. I'm glad to see that she's still doing well, spreading her message, and she actually champions what's going on in the manosphere right now, actually saying that it has gotten worse in today's society, that a lot of women tend to have this delusion, and that it's sad that so many women aren't used to hearing how men actually talk and really think, that they keep deeming everything we say that sounds or is how we think, Kevin Samuels or Kwame Brown logic, when this is how men been thinking for years, man. Like, my uncle always told me, that's why his name was Mr. Mac. He always told me, never change for a woman. If you change, make sure it's something that you want to do, because the moment you change for her, she gonna feel like she can change more of you, and then she gonna continue to try to change more of you. They're never satisfied. Many of them are never satisfied.
Nag. And that we are
do.
essentially responsible for pushing our men away by doing
A
so.
lot of times, we take a position because of our own emotional mechanisms. We harass our men too much. We nag our men too much, and we keep his mind and his head so bundled up and bogged down with all of our personal idiosyncrasies about our day-to-day personal relationship with him, that a lot of times we don't free his mind up to go out and to plan sanely for our future and for the future of our children. Many of them come to us every day, and they almost have to do a wind test. They don't know what's going on. They don't know who they're going to meet, because we have a lot of reactions. We tend to think as black women that a successful relationship, and one where we're happy, is one where everything goes our way. And the first time it goes another kind of a way, then we go into hell, turmoil in our brain, and we start deciding, oh, I've got terrible problems with this man. He won't do what I want him to do. When our men have a side.
So, as a man, you have to be comfortable in what you do. You have to be comfortable in your skin and comfortable what you do as a man. And stand firm in yours. Stand 10 toes down. We learned that many of them do like to date the bad boy, because the bad boy is always unavailable, and they look at that as a challenge. But then the biggest problem nowadays is that they pick to have babies with these men and then cry. I'm gonna make another video about that, how women are choosing to put heavier weight on their shoulders and then play the victim about the burden that they gotta carry, when it was by your own doing. It was by your own choices. But we all know kryptonite is like, accountability is like kryptonite to women. It's really funny that you have so many people confused about this information that's coming out now with the Kevin Samuels and the Kwame Brown. Like I said at the beginning, I showed you that tweet, and we need to just stand behind these men and help these men build their platform. Like so many people keep saying, build black media for black people, so more people can see a better image of a black man versus what the mainstream media is given to us. And then also all of these men willing to tear down a black man that doesn't want to get on the program. So that was the first thing I wanted to address, was that this is not new information. None of this is new. It may be new to you, and it does make for great entertainment and clicking and everything, but men have been thinking this way for years. Like I told one of my ex-girlfriends back in 2009, mind you, I had always had a crush on her in high school, but she didn't, I was in and out of relationships, so was she. So then once we finally got a chance to hook up, she had already had a kid. And then we were getting into a discussion. I wouldn't say an argument. We were getting into a discussion, and I told her straight up, I've always been honest with women. Yo, you got a strike against you. You got a kid. You really think another man is gonna come in and do what I'm doing and do what I'm willing to do? I done been to Uncle Daddy before. That's a bad deal. Like, you have all the responsibilities of helping that woman take care of that kid or doing the things necessary in the house to be a man, but you don't have any you don't have any privilege to discipline or say what's going on. I remember I was dealing with this other chick. She was a hood rat. Now this one was a hood rat. 2 o'clock in the morning, the kid telling me to change back to cartoons. I'm like, what? She should be asleep. This is a 2-year-old. Why? Like, so that type of stuff is always going to be harder on a man dealing with women with kids. And women keep making this, they're treating kids, they treating kids like face tattoos. It's like, they just like, I don't know how it's going to affect my life, but I want one. So it's like, you shouldn't treat childbirth like getting a face tattoo. That you're affecting someone else's life, not just your own, by not giving them the best opportunity to have the best outcomes. So it's like, nowadays you keep seeing, especially on Twitter, you saying, do women take relationships serious or do men take relationships serious? I can see why a lot of men don't take women serious in relationships, because of their thought process and their behavior. Their thought process and their behavior does not line up with what they say out their mouth that they desire, which is a committed, loving relationship. Many of them are still committed to social media, committed to the peanut gallery. Shout out, y'all. The peanut gallery, giving them likes and calling them beautiful. This clip right here, you have a heavier set woman saying why she gets on dating apps so she can get told that she's pretty. And it's like,
always been dating, always, as in like on apps and stuff, because I don't like to be alone. I like the attention. Whenever I start to feel insecure, I would go on the apps and have someone call me pretty, not force them, but like someone's gonna call me pretty, and just feel good about myself, like, okay, I'm good now. But I want to get to a stage where I don't need that.
We're just sitting here stroking women's egos, boosting their egos for them to try to tear down men's egos. And then the moment a man speak up to say, hey, that's not what's hot. You're not what's hot. Oh, he's misogynistic, or he hates women, or who hurt you? And it's like, yo, in mass, women have always told men where they line up, but now we're allowing women to be delusional with everything that they do. Like, everything is just makeup and dolls. Everything about a woman now is that they don't live in reality. They live in a fantasy world. You can get your eyelashes done, you can get your makeup contour, you can put a Snapchat filter on your face, and then go out into the real world and still expect the same expectations that you have built this facade for. And it's crazy. It's crazy and it's asinine. Another thing I wanted to touch on is this whole systemic racism and all this stuff that people are perpetuating, this weak mindset. It's something that I had to always tell my cousin, like, yo, bro, it's about mindset. It's really about mindset. And it's like, who are we getting this advice and message from? All of these people telling us that, because of systemic racism, what's the point of trying? And I could tell you, from a kid that grew up in the hood, man, I was on a dark path headed to nowhere. But it was my mindset. It was the choices I was making. So once I started making better choices, and I had to really sit down and get serious about life, I started having better outcomes. And systemic racism does not matter to a determined, intelligent black man or a determined, intelligent black person. You can figure out a way. These same people that telling you that systemic racism is the reason why you haven't made it, they're living in big houses. So how is that even, like, why are you letting them help? Why are you letting them put this victim card on you instead of just getting up and going out and get it? They're making money off of perpetuating this victim status. You can get white people fired from their job, from a post that they made on social media. How is, like, yeah, racism still exists, but not at the magnitude that we like to, the magnitude that you have media and all these other outlets trying to portray it to be. Yes, some black men have lost their lives, and that's unfortunate, and it's sad. But if you doing what you're supposed to do, man, you limit your chances of dealing with that stuff. Take this from somebody that's been driving for 13 years, 48 states, in the backwoods of all these southern places and all this other stuff. I interact with white people all the time. Whether they're racist or not, it makes no difference to me. If you respect me, I respect you. The moment you step out of line, then I have to step out of line. But then I also have to pick and choose and have situational awareness. Hey, am I somewhere where I need to be acting a fool? Or do I just need to take my good old boys somewhere else? Bruce Lee said it the best. Power is in true power is in restraint. A lot of men have not, especially boys, because you got all these men in their feelings now that's ready to shoot and everything like that, and then cry, oh, they working against us. Like, no. All of these boys or women that raise these boys to believe that you're supposed to get a handout.
That's maintaining one. To raise a child, you need a parental coalition of a man and a woman. We have sons who are, by not having a father in the home, they don't know how to respect women. They take on the black female emotionalism. They become bitchy, they're doubtful, they're indecisive, they can't make a decision. They don't know what to do about being a man because we can't teach them that. We don't have that knowledge.
Like, bro, go out there and make something of yourself. Again, somebody that was going nowhere, 19, just got my case and everything, license suspended, didn't know what I was gonna do, dropped out of college, went and got a trade, 21, went to truck driving school, changed my life around. So it all boils down to the decisions you make. You can see that money is not the issue. In 2020, money is not the issue that's keeping black people down. It's black people's mindset. It's black people's unwillingness to learn the system and play the game how it's played. Many of us don't have financial literacy. I'm loving that this movement that so many people are capitalizing off of. Again, like, I'm not gonna hate on these men that's making money from helping people repair their credit, or helping people believe that they can start a business, or helping people just learning all the ins and outs that so many other people knew before us. But how many of us actually really want that information? Because the information has been out there since 2008 when the internet was really booming and banging. So it's like, do you really want the information, or do you just want somebody to hand you something? Because the information has always been out here. So you see it with all these rappers. All these rappers got money, or some money, or more money than the average boy in the hood, but they still out here shooting, killing each other. Every other song talk about, I'm gonna kill you or something like that. So you can't say it's money or it's not opportunities. It's the mindset of the black community that's holding us back. So we do need more men like Kwame Brown, like Kevin Samuels, like my mans over at Mediocre Tutorial Reviews, Poor Man Podcast, O'Shea Jackson, the brothers over at The Roommate, Fresh and Fit. We need more men in the image. We need more men in the mainstream media to show them that, hey, we're here. Black men are here, and we all are not bad. Again, I'm 35 years old, single, no kids. So those stats that Kevin Samuel say are really true if you live out in the real world. 48 states, I travel, I see it all the time. I see Hispanic men, I see white men married with wedding rings on their fingers. But then when you look at us as the black community, none of us, like, yeah, I'm not married, but I know it's my duty. So if I choose someone, it's going to be my duty to stay with her, to give her the best life, and to make sure that we give our kids the best life when that time comes. And I'm not going to tell any of my kids. I don't even tell my nephew that. That's why I take him out on the road with me, that you can't achieve because you're black. Yeah, you got to watch the landmines and you got to move a certain way to avoid getting yourself in trouble. But, yo, you got doctors, lawyers, NBA players, businessmen, entrepreneurs, owner ops, driving trucks, all these black men out here doing their thing. But we choose to only have selective observation for the very, very few. But then we use sweeping generalizations to cover and blanket all black men, which is crazy. But, man, this video is getting long. I'm going on a rant. And I just wanted to come in and touch on that. If you have anything else to add, or you think I got something wrong, especially on the second topic about the black community and us playing victims and everything. Again, I am a black man, come from a very southern family. Both of my parents were from both of my parents are from the South. My mom's from Yazoo, Mississippi. My daddy's from Utah, Alabama. They grew up in segregation and all of that. You can't say that racism is what's holding us back when it's our mindset. And no one wants to talk about the real issues in the black community versus it's us killing us tearing down us. White man ain't got to do that. The cops ain't got to do that. It's us. When you look up, every day is somebody dying. I grew up where I was able to ride my bike and stuff down the block, ride around the neighborhood. By the time I got to high school, man, it was gunshots every day. Everybody was coming in there with a RIP shirt. It's crazy. So until we address the real issues in the black community, we won't get anywhere. We won't get anywhere, especially with us just sitting here and trying to play the victim card. But like I said, if you think I missed anything or you want to add anything, make sure you comment down below. I love to hear from all of y'all. Don't forget to like, subscribe. Peanut Gallery. Man, I'm going to stop being so serious and get back to my jokes. We're going to get jokey, or we're going to have them both, man. I just hope that you get valuable information or something from this content. Y'all be good. Peace.
I look calm on the service. I look good on the service. Shorty, she came with a purpose. She making me nervous. I look calm on the service, man. I look good on the service. I think she's scheming and scheming and scheming.